Hey, I'm ElusiveKev, Mr. Cole, welcome back to Baja Edge Control HD. As last hour we began our full-size truck adventure in the Wahoo's Big Wave League, and we dominated the league. So let's see what we can do in the KC Highlights League. We've got 4 races instead of 3 this time around, as we begin around the Superstition Hill track in the Canyon Lake environment. As here's our beast. Definitely getting all the sponsors in, looks like. On the side, as we've got another 4-lap race to begin things. And this beautiful environment. Look at that sun peering through the clouds to the right-hand side. As you go past Lowell Arnold. Past Greg as well, heading towards the top 5 already into the first couple of corners. Into the lead already. What's Dave Morrison and Mark doing? Just battling each other, did not see this Ford F250 come down the inside. I am living up to my name there. Going past them. And it's like another fast circuit that begins things off with. There's lots of bumps there though. Want to be careful in that section, as there goes the engine already. We're halfway through the opening lap. Engine's already had enough. So the shocks and clutches, look at that summit going downhill into this very tricky middle sector, very tight and claustrophobic, which leads into the pits. Do we pit on this opening lap? I think we do. But do we relinquish the lead to Dave Morrison? We don't. That's crazy that we could pit and still keep the lead. As we go on to the second lap. Very short of that round here then. Okay. So we might not have to pit every lap then, unlike what we had to do in the races of the previous league. No, saying that, it's very bumpy round it. Definitely don't have to pit on the final lap though, I think is the main thing, as you are building our leave on Morrison. So it goes to Soch and clutch already. And see wide open and gets very narrow. There goes the engine as well. As they're damaged behind. Got over a 10-second lead on Dave Morrison. Then we've got Jim Riley right on his arse. Look at that, he's holding up a train. We've got a Morrison train behind. So maybe it was a wise thing to pit on that opening lap then. Which again, as I said, with races where pit stops are necessary, sometimes our opponents are not that good. Not that wise, and it seems to be proving that case once again in this race. It's just about to make it to our mechanics. Gonna have to pay for the fence though. As they're now going through the Tristy section. Actually, Dave Morrison's got a bit of a gap now. The Jim Riley of a couple of seconds. But still, everyone will be pitting behind. They all gaggle. I'd hate to be part of those pit crews trying to work their way onto the repair mat, try and repair their vehicles. So there we go. We're not going flat out over these bumps. We're going to try and preserve our vehicle on this third lap. As you've got Greg Flutz up to third, temporarily ahead of Jim Riley. And see, really barely taking anything out as well. Bunny Rabbit, what are you doing? Crazy streaker. As we go through into the tight section now. We're surviving in the second out. Just to say that, there goes the clutch and shot. There goes the engine as well. I just got to stop speaking, stop saying, oh, we're doing well. Because everything just falls apart then. And look at this, almost a 30-second lead. I shouldn't have graded anything with this truck. Just too dominant. Too smart as well. As there's defense, there's more destruction. I will repay that, okay? I will pay for that and redo it after the race. So we're going to head on to the final lap now. As someone's slow behind. Dave Morrison has crashed behind. The battle for second. It's heating up now. Jim Riley up to that position now. So I'll set a new record. So let's see how far during this lap we can survive. So Dave Morrison takes back second from Jim Riley. So our left rear is buggered to all hell. As they go through the wide open section. I do love this track for just the contradictions all over the place. It's very fast, wide open, then you get into the tight Tristy section. There goes to shocks and clutch. And now we're going towards a section where it is tight and twisty and slow as well. And of course to this summit as well. Look at that corner. Crazy. You can just see the sky. Onto a Pikes Peak, a race to the clouds. And they released their entry list pretty recently. As that was not cutting the track, that was, you know, just an alternate line. Alright. As we're not pitting. As we just got one corner to go, and then we will win. As there's the bunny rabbit cheering us on the sides. As it's Curtis up to third now. Double K. No, he's down to fifth in the end. Dave Morrison fourth. Jim Riley in second. Greg Adler. He finished second in the last race of the last league. Gets off to a good start here with a podium. You've got Greg in sixth. Randy down in seventh. Mark in eighth. And Arnold in last. So a fantastic start once again. Let's see if we can keep it on the Green Hill Plateau. Around the Canyon de Chelly environment. As here we are lined up for this 4-lap race. I'm guessing the minimum distance now is just 4 laps from this point on. As you're getting near the end, as well as someone didn't get away. No one's getting away. We've got alternate lines everywhere and we've taken the lead. That's like a parting of the Red Sea there. What's everyone doing? You see a bit of a tight environment. Bit bumpy as well. So we're not going full throttle over these bumps, but we're holding on to the lead. You know, Jim Riley and Greg Adler in second. So our main rivals from the last race are sticking with us like glue. We've already built up a couple second lead already on this opening lap. We're not even pushing for our vehicle. Let's go to the mechanic side. Let's wave to them. No, I'm not coming in this lap. It's a miracle. That's all. We've got Randy up to second. No, it's still Jim Riley. Let's just take this route. I do love these circuits with the multiple routes everywhere. That's all. There goes the engine. We've gone wide. We've gone into a tree. Just about hold on though. Let's see, we go down the front stretch. And on to the second lap with this massive jump. No wonder the shocks and clutch are hurting. But this little circuit was sinking off in the last league on the Canyon de Chelly environment, but that one had some jumps, but not as abrasive the track as this. Definitely glad I didn't upgrade the suspension. We'll probably be flipping all over the place. Did. Could go flat out over the jump, just about make it. We've got over a 5-second lead ahead of Jim Riley with Greg Adler right in his arse. Looks like he's not making a move though, he's just stuck behind. If those two stay there though, could have an interesting championship heading into the second half of the league. It's going to be definitely taking the outside line here. And tell mechanics to put their tee down. Let's look at Jim Riley making a break for it in second. Here you go, repair. Trying to get away a bit early there. And there's Jim Riley going into the pits just as we exit and get back up to speed. It looks like Adler really slowed down. Dave Morrison up to third now. Shall we go this way now? Let's test what this way is like. As you can see, I'm actually trying to use the brakes now over some bumps. Really try and conserve this vehicle. And then you got the massive jump though. Towards the end. Not just one, but two. We land it though. On all fours, do we know? Left rear is damaged. Gonna have to go this way then, because no way we're making that jump in the middle. In the figure of 8. We've got Dave Morrison up to second now. Jim Riley down to third. Dave Morrison coming on strong in this race, in the second half of it. But I did mention in the last race that the Pikes Peak, they've released their entry list for this year's edition of the Race to the Clouds. Got some interesting names on there. Not least Manfred Stoll. Now if you're not a rally fan, you probably don't recognise the name, but Manfred Stoll was on the WRC circuit in the mid-thousands. I think he finished third in the championship one year, even though he never won a rally. consistent podium finisher, and I think it was 2006 when Citroen had their year out and they were a privateer, and it was Loeb just winning everything. I think that's the year where he broke his leg and could miss the last like 3 rounds and still won the championship ahead of Marcus Grönholm in his Works Ford, which was run by M Sport back then as well. So yeah, though that was at the peak of his powers then. Before Grönholm got a bit closer, I believe the following year, and then where it got really close in the WRC Championship in 2009, where Mikko Hirvonen at the peak of his powers with Ford, successor to Grönholm, the Finn. And that team, he was just 2 points away from winning the championship, which is incredible to think about when you consider, well, the rest of the championships for those, that's all the left rear's gone. We're not going to make this jump, are we? Let's see. Oh, just about. Oh, right rear's gone now. There goes the shocks and clutch. When you're saying that Loeb mostly won his championships out of canter, or with a comfortable gap, Hirvonen really did push him in 2009. Kind of a shame to not see the Finn actually win that championship, considering Loeb had 9 of them. He could have afforded to lose 1 championship, you know. Well, yeah, that's the closest he ever got in that period. After the likes of Subaru, Suzuki left. Same with Mitsubishi, or the Japanese manufacturers left because of the crunch after 2008. Of course, Toyota was no longer around at the end of the 20th century, but they've come back recently and have really shown themselves to be superb. I was talking about Manfred Stoll, wasn't I? Well, the Austrian, he's done some rallycross in recent years, done a team there. Well, he's taking part in the Pikes Peak Rally. Now, 1972, I think it is, VW with a diesel-charged engine. That is going to be fantastic to watch. I can't wait to see that. As we won by a country mile once again by over half a minute, ahead of Greg Adler and Jim Riley. So our main challenges, again, finish on the podium. Dave Morrison in 4th, Mark 5th, Arnold in 6th, Curtis Double K in 7th, Randy in 8th, and Greg in 9th. So another victory as we head into the second half of the league on the Lello Bull track in the Lake Powell environment. Yes, here we are, nicking a lot of machine. As we've got 4 laps to win this thing again. Let's see if we do. I want a bit more of a challenge in this league. Maybe I shouldn't have upgraded anything, as I said previously. But it just seems with the additional engine power, which is put away. Yeah, there's going to just slide down the inside of Greg, who's down in 8th. Oh, there we go. Now we've got a challenge as we've gone to no man's land. But Greg down in 7th with just Arnold behind and myself. Not a good start to this race, as it looks like it got really slow over the hill as we go side by side with our title rival. Look at the dust. As we're going 2 by 2, it looks like we've got a bit of a Noah's Ark at the front. To go around the outside, got Dave Morrison in front. And see, this track's a bit tighter though, but still high speed, which we love. This is like the Ovus track, as I described previously, where it's just fast, but with hairpins at either side. But it looks like we're not going to lead across the line for once. Randy's going to do that. So there goes the engine. That's why it lasted so long. Lasted almost a lap. We've got Jim Riley behind in 3rd. He's been very consistent. So there goes the shocks and clutch. So just about hold on. Let's go through the tricky, tight section here. This time do not go into the scenery. Seems like we avoided that. We can see we're just catching up. Surrounding that tight section. We're going to be right in his tail. Going towards the pits. The first time. Oh, he's not pitting. No one's pitting. Oh, thanks for the tap. Who's that? Dave Morrison. Thank you for that. So we're down to 6th, but we prepared our vehicle in the second lap. No one else has in front. So we should quickly get past Mark. And get past Greg Adler as well. In 4th. Not a very good race. And as you can see, the top three are closing up in front. As well, who's that going by? That's Greg going into the scenery. Got Jim Riley in front. And there's Randy. It's going to the final corner. Drift into second place. We'll find your leader lap at the line. And it's like we will. Got a superb run on Randy. The damaged vehicles. Can't believe they did not pit on that second lap. There they go. Slowing it down over the bumps. There goes the engine. We're really slowing it down. Just like Randy is behind. Look at that train he's got behind him now. Got Dave Morrison in his tail, of course, who pitted with us in third. But this is a short lap, so we might not have to pit this lap actually. Just the engine damage. Just so we can get away with it until the final lap. Probably didn't need to pit on the opening lap, did we? It wasn't the opening lap, we've only pitted once. What am I thinking of? So we pit on alternate laps this race. It says Dave Morrison in the only second behind, having been one of the only others to pit. The last lap, there goes the shocks and clutch. Right, once again, we've just been handed a race. Thanks to no one kind of using their head. Our opponents. Which is very unfortunate. Got Dave Morrison behind, but he's following our strategy, but he's 7 seconds behind. To go on to the final lap, set a new record, 1:12. This year we're solid at 80. I was talking about Points Peak, the entry list in the last race, where you got a couple interesting names. A couple interesting vehicles as well. Looks like the Normas are going to be there again, which have won the last... won a couple of Points Peaks in recent years in the hands of Roman Damarwell. The Frenchman's not returning to defend his title. So he just about make it onto the map. Let's find that. Will Dave Morrison pit? He will not. We've got a challenge for the lead, do we? No. He's slotted in behind. We've got Double K in third. But now we're just going to pull away in this final half of that because we're prepared, and as you can see we can just gun it in this last section. But at least Dave Morrison tried to give it a go. Shame it's not going to work out for him. He's been caught by Randy behind as well. He'll be very close. For second it looks like. But not for first once again as we cross the line with another victory. 3 from 3. As Jim Riley grabs second in the end, Randy third, Greg Adler in fourth. Jim Riley been very consistent though. Dave Morrison in fifth, Greg in sixth, Mark in seventh, Double K in eighth, and Arnold at the back. So going into the final race, we could get a new sponsor. Nah, our sponsor pays a bit more than you, FabTech. As now we head to the Sundance Peak on the Yundi Salt Flats. So here we are on the white stuff with 4 laps between us and another league championship. And the only guy who can really stop us is Jim Riley, who's been on the podium every race so far. But that's a terrible start from Dave Morrison, and that's allowed us into the lead. Seriously, 1 corner from last to first. But let's see what this track is like then. Oh, it's got some jumps. It's a bit bumpy, but it's wide open. It is fast, which we love. But I just got to watch out for the bumps, it looks like. Oh, look at this jump. Well, Ford survive, it will. Not the left rear though, it looks like. Might have to pit on this opening lap. So there goes the shocks and clutch. So there's the start-finish line. And this side, we've got a long way to go. We're around halfway through this opening lap. Engine's gone as well. We do have to pit. I know, we've got to reverse. Reverse! I'd had our mechanics to prepare, but now we're down to last place. When everyone else will be slow, I reckon, in the second half of this lap. Look how slow they are already. We've got Lowell Arnold, we've got Double K, we're past him up into 7th. Got Greg, and we've got Randy right in front. We're into the top 5 already. We could retake the lead before the line in it. So we've got Jim Riley in 3rd, our main rival. Got Mark. We take the lead already. Ridiculous. Once again, our opponent's just not being smart. Driving around with damaged cars, allowing us to take the lead. Not being smart in the first place. Anyway, Dave Morrison not covering that inside line and blocking everyone else. As we go on to the second lap. This lap seems to be a bit longer, maybe. Previous race, I won't see very bouncy, rough. We might have to pit every lap. Could maybe get away with it on the final lap. Everyone's like they are behind. Look at Mark. Look at this train. Got Jim Riley in 3rd. He's probably honking his horn all the time now. Going absolutely crazy behind him. Trying to get by. So here goes the engine, shocks and clutch. As I was saying, we've got to talk about Pikes Peak again in the entry list, as I don't think anyone's going to get near us, as we're going to pit on the second lap. Let's see if we can actually get into the pit stop this time. Not make our mechanics wonder where the heck is he going. There we go, that's nice and perfect. And way ahead of everyone else as we exit the pits. So on the Pikes Peak hill climb, entry list this year. You also have the likes of Verona Inks, the daughter of Jackie X. And she's raced in the Le Mans 24 Hours a number of times. Finished 4th in 2011. But she's going to be racing the Pikes Peak for the first time. We're also going to see Alanza Jr. make a return as well. He actually won the Race of the Clouds back in 1983, if I remember correctly, 34 years ago. But he's also taken part for the first time in a while. And back in the 70s, 80s, he actually saw drivers, you know, when they were a bit more multi-disciplined. You know, of course, you see IndyCar drivers, of course, driving like Daytona and such, and driving sports cars, but a bit more multi-disciplined. So it's taking part in not just sports car races, but also, you know, maybe NASCAR or going into rallies or hill climbs. But we also saw Alanza do that early in his IndyCar careers. There goes the engine, shocks and clutch, even though he did go over many major bumps. There's all 2 wheels, just about holding on. But yeah, we also seen other unders, such as I think Bobby Unders also won Pikes Peak hill climb. But yeah, in recent years it's been dominated by specialist machines for the hill climb, such as the Norma. There's also going to be a Bentley SUV going up there as well, which is the first public appearance, I believe, of the Bentley. And so they're going to try and get it up there in around, I think it's under 10 minutes they're going to try and get it up there. Be interesting to see if they can do that. So we are on the penultimate lap, pitting again. Got Mark in 2nd, Jim in 3rd. But yeah, Pikes Peak looks exciting once again this year. Can't wait to follow it and look at the videos afterwards as well. They're always the best, one of the best motorsport videos to watch during the Pikes Peak hill climb runs that the channel uploads, of the winner, the bike winner, all the different class winners. I remember watching, I think it was Reese Mullins run last year in an electric vehicle. And he finished 2nd to Demar. Could have won it though. He was engined in, he just didn't lose half his power after battery at the bottom of the course. So for most of his run he didn't have full power, and you really need that, especially in the second half of the run. But just watching him drive that electric machine, you don't really hear anything, of course, from the motor, but it just looks scary as heck because you can't hear anything. So there goes the engine already on this final lap. It's Jim Riley up to 2nd again. Very consistent, Jim Riley. But he's not winning. He's got Mark down to 3rd. There goes the shocks and clutch as well. Will we make it a full house in the final race? We can try. But yeah, watching an electric car go up the Pikes Peak Hill and electric bikes as well, perhaps even scarier. It is just crazy. But yeah, always great videos to watch. Probably seen the Superstition Hill run between 20 and 50 times already. Yeah, seeing Dumas run last year was pretty good. It was actually, he made a couple of mistakes, remember. Well, Mudden was a bit more precise, but just didn't have that battery power, unfortunately. So yeah, it should be a good contest this year. It's interesting, you've got quite a few hill climb champions as well. So yeah, it should be a tight contest for the victory this year. Very much looking forward to it. Bit tighter than this league, this championship again. Hopefully it gets a bit better after the circuit races with the rallies. If the open class challenge, hopefully it won't be a pain in the neck like that mini truck one. Won't take me like 50 attempts to do it. As we approach the final corner, the final race of the league, as we go across the line with another victory, 4 from 4. Dominant once again, with Arnold in second. Go Loyal. Lowell. I don't know how you say it. With Jim Riley in third, Mark in fourth, Greg in fifth, Greg Adler in sixth, Dave Morrison 7th, Double K in 8th, Randy at the back. So we win another championship and dominate from fashion. Jim Riley, who was very consistent, always on the podium. And then a bit of a gap to Greg Adler and Dave Morrison. Arnold up to 5th after that podium in the final race. Mark in 6th, Randy 7th, Greg in 8th, Double K at the back. As we get the Flying Dutchman racing truck, Turner Bunch Motorsports, and the Ultra Custom Boat 01 truck as well. So it's 2 from 2. Let's see if it'll be a bit closer next time out in the Lincoln Electric Powerhouse League. Well, I hope you enjoyed this episode. So for watching, and I'll see you next time.